card is called the Five of Wands, and it represents the human prostrate. The character here, represented by the red hat, corresponds to Hermes. That means you have to have physical interaction of conscious thought. The other portions of these figures all correspond to the nerves and the prostrate. If you're going to make the philosopher's stone, you need to begin with the prostrate. This card represents the Four of Cups. This corresponds to the thalamus. This is the final depository of the philosopher's stone. If you look carefully, this figure of a man and this figure of the cup can be drawn to enclose a hypercube. In the thalamus there is a hypercube structure. This image is the production of the philosopher's stone. If you notice, there's a man, woman combination. There's the man, there's the woman, and there's a C2 axis. So the man and woman could be rotated 180 degrees from each other. And below, we have a copy of the man and woman. This corresponds to the generation of the philosopher's stone, newly created. This key, the Ten of Wands, emphasizes the back portion of the body, and it recedes away toward the head. This whole region corresponds to the nerves in the lower portion of the hips. This is where, of course, the nerves are used in creation. And this key represents the dragon constellation in the northern hemisphere. So all of these images were drawn to give a hint as to what astrological sign they would correspond to. This key, the man has what looks like an unusual hat. This corresponds to the cerebrum. This very richly decorated image shows a man with a beard sitting down, and there are these two dogs. This represents the long intestines in the human body. The Terra system actually is the construction of the body, all the organs, and all the components that make up the different aspects of the mind. The figure here, known as the magician, has an unusual belt with a serpent's head enclosing the tail of the serpent. This corresponds to the state of sustainability. The magician is able to use his mind to sustain himself. On the table is the element of the cup, corresponding to water. The pentacle, corresponding to earth. The sword, corresponding to air. And the wand, corresponding to fire. And here, the hand corresponds to a double lit candle. The lemniscate corresponds to life force being tamed, controlled at the top of the head. These 4 cards all have winged figures. The titles of the cards do not correspond to the images. We begin with this image called temperance, or to temper. We see a figure holding 2 cups, transferring a liquid. The image is of what's known as the Archangel Michael. The reason it is called temperance refers to the fact that the emotions are being controlled, tempered. That's the role of the archangels, to control emotions. This winged figure is also part of the 4 archangels. It represents the Archangel Ariel, whose domain is over the body. This figure, showing you water, corresponds to the Archangel Gabriel. This figure represents the Archangel Raphael. If you look carefully at the bottom, you will see these lines. They correspond to the nervous system. Every aspect of the tarot system is about the body. To understand what the tarot is about, you have to understand first the physiology of the body.